Welcome back to the Bean and Bracket Factory, or welcome if you've not been here before. So the last series of videos was all about this, which is the Nera car engine. This is a Nera car just here, and this is now sitting looking pretty on the bench, while the rest of a Nera car magically falls out the sky, which is not likely to happen anytime soon. So the next video is going to be all about this, which has been sitting alongside very patiently while I put all my effort into that Nera car engine. And this is an Austin 7 single-seater special. It's called a Wragg, and this happens to be chassis number 9. It's a Mark III chassis number 9. So there's quite a lot of things I want to do to this. I spent quite a long time building this last year, ready for the centenary event. And there's a quick look in where all the action happens. It's called Miss Martha, after my daughter. And what I'm going to do, I want to do various things to it. I want to put a much more powerful engine in it. I want to sort out the front suspension. But this project is going to be about the rear suspension. So I'm going to explain what I want to do. So if you know your Austin 7s, you can see this is a fairly conventional rear suspension setup. You've got a live axle connected to a spring, and that's pretty much it. And what I want to do is a modification which the works cars had, whereby there's also a radius rod fitted from the top of here that goes back to the axle and locates the axle, and then the spring doesn't actually control the fore and after the axle, it's a radius arm that does it, and I've got a picture of that. So this is the picture of the works car, and as you can see, it's got this triangular bracket on the front, and that corresponds to just there on the chassis. And this is a project I actually started last year sometime, and I got as far as actually making a couple of these brackets, so that kind of got put on hold for various reasons, but now it's restarting, and I'll talk about these in probably the next episode about actually how I made these things. But now I need to turn my attention to the rear. So what I need to do is I've got to create a drop link which lowers the spring with respect to the axle and allows the location of the radius rod. Difficult to describe, but I will provide pictures when I actually come to do this thing. But what I need to do now really is I need to drop this rear under tray. I need to put the rear axle on stands, and I need to take the pins out. There's some pins in here which hold the axle in. Take those out and lower the whole car. And of course, when I've done this, this will also serve to lower the ride height, which is quite useful because these are 16-inch wheels, 16-inch rims with racing tyres, and these are 15-inch. As you can see, it's a massive difference. And I prefer the 16s because it looks more period and nicer. That's what it's all about, after all. I'm going to lower the ride height and get it back to what it was when it was running on 15s. So I'll tackle that in the next episode, I think, but before I do, I'll just give you another little look of the car. So as I said, it's number 9. Another quick look in here. One thing I do want to do in a future episode is modify this gear linkage. I had to make this from scratch anyway, and it does work very well, but it'd be quite nice to make one which is more enclosed like the works cars had. If I did that, it would flip the gate pattern slightly, but it doesn't really matter. There's the dash, minimum viable dash there. All you need, the start is a conventional pull start, just there, just very primitive. Not primitive, but very period. Okay, quick look at the front. It has hydraulic brakes, articulated axle, transverse spring. There you go, very pretty car, I'm sure you will agree. So I hope you like the idea of the new project. I will get cracking, I guess, this week, and let's see how long it takes me to get another episode out and show you some progress.